Welcome back, chess fan. In this video, how to win with black using the Sicilian Taimanov or Kan. The way it goes, on move 4, you can play a6, that's a Sicilian Kan, or you can play knight c6. Either way, the queen will go to c7, knight f6, we're gonna attack the white king. This is not an actual position, but I want to show the key ideas for black. Your king is in the center. You played h7, h5, and your rook here is ready to attack. Your queen goes to c7, your bishop to c5 ideally, because it's threatening to come here, and you get your knight on f6. So how does that work together? If this is black to play, you play knight g4 with the other threat of queen h2 checkmate. So white may take your knight, right, to remove an attacker. You take back, and look at this, you haven't castled, so you're continuing to threaten checkmate on h2. So that's one of the key ideas. Let's go back to the beginning. And now, let's imagine this is white to play. They know you want to play knight g4, so the white player will play h3. So number one, you can still go knight g4 because if they take, you have a dangerous pressure over here. That's one idea. But the other idea that you can have with black is to play the move queen g3. And that's because you have the bishop here and the king here. So white cannot take your queen. So when you look at that, queen g3 is available. And that's a dangerous motif. Now, let's go to the games. And this is game 1. Black play a6. The game goes on. And now you develop your knight on f6 according to the plan. Bishop d3 to protect e4. And in here you go with h5. We've seen that, right? h3, of course, black wants to play knight g4. So white saying, well, I'm gonna guard g4. You see that coming? Bishop c5. Queen e2, black to play. And now we are ready and we do knight g4 with threatening checkmate on h2. And if you do g3, we know the pattern. Boom, because of bishop on c5, white cannot take. And after this move, this is checkmate. So over here, we have a very serious threat. The right move for white was to play e5 to block the diagonal. And here, you take, and you will continue like that. And black is fine because black has a bishop pair. But over here, white falls into the trap and take the knight. So we take back and we're threatening checkmate. e5 played and white thinks they're fine. However, here we play f5 defending g4. Of course, white cannot do en passant because we would get queen h2 checkmate. So here, white develop bishop e3 and say, well, you gave up a piece with black, so what's going on? And the killer move here, g6. What a move, right? The queen wants to come to h7 and deliver checkmate on h1. So let's say if you just do a move like that, simply queen h7, threatening checkmate. And if you do f4, I do g3, and the next move is checkmate on h1. So g6, brilliant move. White try f4, and here g3. Game over, because no matter what you do, if you take the bishop, you have a very nice combination. The queen come to h7, and here on move 20, checkmate. So fantastic first game. Let's see another one. And in game 2, black decide to go with knight c6, the Taimanov. c4 play, we of course develop our pieces. And here, bishop c5, we go with our pattern. And here, we don't do like a castle, that's kind of a quiet move. We go knight g4, attacking f2. White castle, and in this variation, we don't even need to go queen c7. We have a better move. We can go queen h4, attacking f2, and attacking h2. And we have checkmate being threatened. So here, white doesn't fall into the trap and play h3. No more checkmate. So we go h5, our classic pattern. So we have knight g4, bishop c5. The only difference here is the queen is on h4. Now, black doesn't like the pin over here, and white play b4, attacking that bishop. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we go with a pattern. And what is the pattern in this situation? Queen g3, brilliant move, made possible by the pin over here, so the queen cannot be taken. So what is the point of queen g3? Well, there's little checkmate on h2. So what is the only way to avoid checkmate in one move is to take the knight. And now we take back, and we have still a very nice checkmate threat in one move. Rook e1 played, and now this is where you have to stay focused. Beginner may say, well, the king is almost made it. Let's do a check. Let me take on b4. Let me give a check. But this position is very unclear. You give up a piece and you're not winning yet with black. So over here, you have to resist the temptation to giving a check. Instead, you play the very nice and brilliant rook h2. The queen here can still not be taken because our powerful bishop on c5, and we have a little threat on g2, right? This is checkmate in one move. Once again, bishop f1 defends the g2 pawn, and here, quiet queen h4 threatening checkmate. And on g3, we learn that this is not a big deal. Queen g3, once again, powerful combo. And on the next move, we'll finish on g2. So once again here, beautiful game. And let's go to see one last example. And in our third and last example, we're gonna follow the footsteps of Indian prodigy Ramesh Pragananda. So that was playing a title Tuesday online, and Prague goes with a6, the Sicilian Kan. I'm gonna go quickly with the move, and here white play bishop e3. By the way, white is played by Grandmaster Bilal Belhassan. So we go on, and here, because of the bishop e3, we cannot play our regular setup, bishop c5. But what did Prague do here? You guessed it, h5. And now we have a familiar pattern, right? Knight g4 and the threat of checkmate. So in here, white play queen g3. On h3, we don't know what Prague would have done, but possibly bishop d6, and then giving a check over here. At any rate, queen d3 was played, so Prague go with our plan. White take, and we have the threat of checkmate here. So g3 played. But as you know, our bishop is still on f8 here, because white was safe enough to place a bishop on e3, so we do not have our play over here. And now, feel free to pause the video. What would you play with the black pieces here? And the answer is the beautiful and very cunning queen e5. What is the queen doing in the center of the board? Well, the queen is heading to h5. And once again, we're targeting the white king and especially the pawn on h2. Rook a d1, we have to be careful because the king is the center, so the grandmaster with white would like somehow to attack d7, but we have a plan. Checkmate in 1 is threatened, so h4 is played. Now, in the game, it just turned out that Prague took over here, and when queen f3, and here play f5, white panicked, took on e5, and then that was checkmate like that. So over here, g takes h3 en passant was played. But white could have defended better. I have a better solution for you. In here, you can play bishop e7. And after rook e1, to give some luft for the white king, what is the killer move? The killer move is g5. Your king here is safe because the bishop defends over here, and white cannot take because you go to h1. And if white takes with the bishop, you take again, and again, you're threatening checkmate. So over here, a lot of ways to have a better position, but I recommend bishop e7, and this is a crushing position with the black pieces on move 16. And with that, I can conclude this series. Feel free to drop a like, put comments, and I'll see you in the next one.